time, I'd like to ask everyone to silence all any electronic devices and to stand for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I'd like to open the public hearing into the annexation and rezone of property located at 443 and 521 East Montgomery Road into the city limits and rezone from an A1 agricultural district to a B2 general business district.
I'm Andy Sholey. I'm here representing the Decatur County Hospital. I've also got Don Wickens with me, who is the hospital's attorney. The hospital has purchased these two pieces of property. I believe they were formerly Finley property. I don't know if you guys have aerial maps of this, if that was in the packet or see anything on the screen. I brought a couple aerial maps so you guys can see what we're talking about, but more or less the hospital wants to rezone this and annex these two parcels into the city so that they can combine those two parcels with the rest of their campus. But currently it says in Washington Township, so we can't do a survey to consolidate that in there. I mean, you need to, you guys want to,
I know where the
I
property
mean,
is.
you guys know where the property is and what it's kind of a rough shaped property, a lot of trees.
Extremely rough.
If you've been by the, I don't know if anyone lived in the houses, or houses are a little run down, but that's the whole point of asking to have this section annexed in is, you know, the hospital's been doing a lot of work out here, everyone probably knows that. They purchased Blake's building a year ago, they purchased Steers, they purchased this, they're just trying to square it all up, and this is part of it. We came in front of the board a year ago because the other couple of parcels there on Montgomery Road were in Washington Township, and we annexed those in so we could do the survey and consolidate them.
Any board members have any questions of Andy? Okay, having heard none, is there anyone from the audience who'd like to speak in regards to this annexation and rezone? Having heard none, we'll go to the next public hearing item. Rezone of property located at 206 Southeast Street from an R2 one-family residential district to a B2 general business district. Can you talk on this one too, Andy?
Kind of the same situation here. Since it's in Washington Township, it's currently zoned agricultural. You know, to consolidate that with the rest of the hospital's property, we need it to be all zoned.
No, this is for the St. Mary's.
This is St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
Oh.
The rezone St. Mary's. No,
That's you.
stay there, then he might
I'll
be.
stay here, I'll go for the next. I'll be back. They lump those two together, Andy, so I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is public hearing.
As discussed earlier, members of the board, this is a potential rezone for an event center necessitating a commercial and B2 zoning. This will encompass all three properties or all three structures on the property. So the property butts 421, sits among a bunch of other commercial assets up and down the corridor. Straightforward for what the use necessitates. So happy to field questions, but B2 is what we're seeking.
Anyone on the board have any questions, Madam? Is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak to the rezone of the property located at 206 Southeast Street? Please come forward and state your name for the record, please.
My name is Brian Robbins. I'm Director of the Economic Development Corporation for Greensburg, Decatur County. I just wanted to say that we've been working with Mr. Manship and his wife at the redevelopment of this property. It's one that I've been working with numerous people. We've never gotten this far. In order for the redevelopment of this the site, both sentimentally and historically to the community. It's a corridor in the southern entrance of our downtown, and just want to say that the EDC stands behind the redevelopment of this property and getting it back on the city payroll, or tax roll, I should say.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to this one?
Mayor Joshua Marsh for the city of Greensburg. As stated in the earlier meeting, we are supportive of the project. We'd like to see the site be revitalized and used for something good. I think we could probably all agree it never was residential, but there are specifications that come with the B zoning class, so obviously that would be up to you all to make that determination. The Manships, as stated earlier as well, met with us and discussed what they would like to do with the site. Makes sense. We've talked about how it is a historic site, so it is a challenge to meet the requirements of the zoning classifications. But with that, we would be supportive of the project should all of the agreements be able to be reached. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else want to speak to the rezone of this property? Anybody else? Does any of the board members have any items, additional items that I could discuss in regards to either one of these two items? Having heard none, I take a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, public hearing closed. Today is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, the time being 7:41. The meeting of the Plan Commission is called to order. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. John, please do roll call.
Roy.
Present.
Rick.
Here.
Steve.
Here.
Kevin.
Here.
Tom.
Here.
Mark.
All right, next item on the agenda is approved minutes from our December 15th meeting. Those meetings have been presented. Do you have any additions or corrections to those meetings?
I move to approve the minutes.
I have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Please do roll call on the minutes, please.
Roy.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Mark.
Old business, we have none. New business, first item on the agenda is elect president and vice president of the commission, so I will turn that over to Mr. Smith. Thank you.
Any motions on president?
Move that we nominate Kevin as president.
I'll second. All in favor? Opposed?
And vice president?
And motions on vice president?
Make a motion for Rick Antoine.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Guess we never asked you if you wanted to. You're here. All right, next item real quick, I'd like to ask John to continue to be secretary. He's willing. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you again. All right, recommendation to city council on annexation and rezone of property located at 443 and 521 East Montgomery Road into the city limits and rezone property from an A1 agriculture district to a B2 general business district. Andy presented in the public hearing what the Cape County Memorial Hospital is wanting to do. Does anyone have any additional discussion on that item? Is there anybody else, is there anybody in the audience who would like to add anything in addition to what we heard in the public hearing? Having heard none, I would
Hey,
take,
can I ask one question?
yes.
What's the timetable for the demolition of the existing structures?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Tom. Sorry.
What's the timetable for the demolition of the existing structures?
Don, you know, your timetable
No,
for
please
demolition of
approach
these
the podium, please.
structures? I'm not aware of that, I don't know.
The hospital is working with engineers, and they've got a committee that's studying what expansion they should do to the hospital first. And there's no specific plan developed yet. They're just beginning, well, they've been working on it for several months, but it takes a long time to develop it. For instance, they have to, they have to decide which services need development first. They can't do everything they would like to do. So it's all part of the process.
I think Tom's question though is, are you gonna just let those buildings sit there existing vacant like that, or are they gonna clear the lot?
Oh, they're gonna clear the lots. They're gonna clear the lots, and those houses will be gone.
How quickly?
I think what I heard was, this summer. At one point, I thought it was gonna be a little bit earlier, but the last I heard, it was probably this summer to clear the lot. They don't want those unsightly properties anymore.
Thank you, Don. Anybody else have any questions of Don? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any other questions in regards to this rezone and annexation? Having heard none, I take a motion that we move this to city council with a positive recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Steve, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Please do roll call.
Roy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mark.
Okay, next item. Recommendation to city council of rezone for property located at 206 Southeast Street from an R2, one family residential district to a B2 general business district. Does anyone from the audience have anything to add to this one? Okay, I guess we all realize that property should never have been an R2 to begin with. It should have been zoned something else. The B2 general district probably fits better as to what it has been used for and what the potential use would be. Having said that, do we have any questions or other comments from the board? Having heard none, I would like a motion to move this to city council with a positive recommendation.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Second, Steve. John, please call roll.
Roy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mark.
All right. Being the last item on the agenda, take a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. You never warned me before the meeting.
I'm never even on the agenda. As stated earlier, this is Steve Hamilton's last meeting with us this evening as he is retiring from the city. Steve, on behalf of us, thank you for your hard work for this board as well, and all your years as building inspector for us. We wish you best in your retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, now I'd ask a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Gentlemen, we are done.